What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and after nearly a month, there is somehow still controversy surrounding Dave Chappelle's Netflix special, The Closer, as Dave Chappelle continues winning over and over and over again, laughing in his critics' faces and saying that he will not be canceled as he performs to sold-out crowds throughout the country. Some of the Netflix employees that were involved in the very beginning of this controversy, the ones who got suspended, the ones who even got fired for leaking confidential information, are still playing victim to this day. And now they've decided that they're going to file a lawsuit against Netflix. We'll see how that works out for them. Take a look at the headline from Deadline. Dave Chappelle controversy now sees Netflix hit with unfair labor charge by fired and suspended staffers. And all this is done, this entire situation has gone on to prove that what Dave Chappelle was talking about was 1000% right. When he made the comparison, you can shoot a black person and no one cares, but you make fun of a gay person and all of a sudden you're canceled. All of a sudden, people come after you. And that's exactly what has happened with some members of the trans community. That has been extremely obvious that the thin-skinnedness of a few select people has led to all this backlash. The vast majority of people had no problems with what Dave Chappelle said. They loved the Netflix special. They thought it was hilarious. And even if they don't agree with what he said, they realize that one, it's just his opinion, and two, a lot of it is joking. He doesn't hate anyone, not in any way, shape, or form. But there was a tiny microscopic portion of the community that wanted to make this all about themselves, that wanted to take this opportunity to once again be victims and demand things from Netflix, that they do more for the trans community. And they did get a semi-apology out of CEO Ted Sarandos when he says, I screwed up, I maybe should have handled it differently. But they are not budging on taking Chappelle's special down. I think at that point it's pretty safe to say they are not going to take this thing down from Netflix. Dave Chappelle continues to win, and these trans protesters continue to lose. But now we have this lawsuit on the line, and that could make things very interesting. I want to look at the article from Variety that covers the same topic. Netflix employees who protested Dave Chappelle's special file unfair labor charge against the streamer. Two Netflix employees have filed an unfair labor practice complaint with the National Labor Relations Board, alleging the streaming giant retaliated against them for protesting Dave Chappelle's comedy special, The Closer. Even though when you look at it, it's pretty clear that's not what happened, and we will get into it. But again, these are people that literally, the only reason you know their names is because they're playing victim. The only reason you know who these people are and that they're relevant at all is because they decided to take offense to words and try to victimize themselves and get Dave Chappelle canceled because of that. An NLRB representative confirmed that an unfair labor practice charge was filed Wednesday. B. Pagels Minor, that's quite a name, a black trans program manager at Netflix, was fired after the company claimed they shared information on the economics behind the viewership of The Closer with Bloomberg News. Pagels Minor organized a walkout on October 20th of Netflix trans employees and their supporters. Pagels Minor denies leaking the information to Bloomberg. And listen, I don't know. I don't know what the details are. I do think that everyone seemed pretty confident in the beginning that this is the person that leaked it, and they wanted to remain anonymous, all these things, until they got fired, right? Then they wanted to come out. Then they wanted to play victim. This is the pregnant black trans person that everyone was talking about. B. Pagels Minor sounds more like a concerto than a person, but that's who it is. B. Pagels Minor. I found out a little bit about this person. They have a couple little presentations they did on YouTube. If you want to learn more about them, you can check it out. Not sure what this person's pronouns are, so we're trying to keep it safe here. There they are in the thumbnail, and right there, you can learn all you need to know about them in that interview. And of course, software engineer Tara Field was suspended after posting a tweet thread about The Closer, but Netflix at the time said the suspension was for attending the company's quarterly business review meeting uninvited. She was later reinstated after Netflix found no ill intent. Yet somehow, she's filing a labor charge even though she was reinstated. And to be clear, this is the person we're talking about. You may have remembered this person. Maybe put this person on the thumbnail. You never know. That might get people to click on it. But Tara Field is one of the people that came out very vocally against Netflix and said, we are not offended by this. Nah. It's very obvious that you were extremely offended by this entire situation, so you played victim in order to get some likes, in order to get some retweets on Twitter. And that was fine. Netflix allowed you to do that because whatever, that's not a big deal to them. What they didn't allow you to do was try to burst in and attend a high-level meeting. Although I do think it was a virtual one, but they weren't supposed to be there. Her, and I think her is her preferred pronouns. I don't fucking know. It's getting too confusing at this point. This person, Tara Field, and a few others came into a high-level meeting that they were not supposed to be at. And they got suspended for that. Bottom line. Just like I would if I went somewhere where I wasn't supposed to try to cause a fuss. In a statement, Netflix asserted the employees face no retaliation for criticism of Chappelle. And I think that that's pretty obvious when you see what a lot of other of their employees have been doing, criticizing Dave Chappelle. They didn't get suspended. They didn't get fired, even though some of them went even further than these people did. It just so happens these people actually did something with their jobs that they're not allowed to do. Leaking classified information got you fired. Bursting into a meeting with high-level executives where you're not supposed to be there got you suspended. That's the bottom line. That's the end of the story. We recognize the hurt and pain caused to our trans colleagues over the last few weeks, Netflix spokesperson said, but we want to make it clear that Netflix has not taken any action against employees for either speaking up or walking out. In the complaint, Pales, Minor, and Field say Netflix took the actions in order to stop workers from speaking out, according to The Verge, which is an absolute trash fire of a publication, which first reported the labor charge. This charge is not just about B's this person's name now, and Tara, and it's not about Dave. It's about trying to change the culture and having an impact for others, Attorney Lori Burgess told The Verge. The charge is all about collective action. It's about supporting your coworkers and speaking up for things you cared about. They were allowed to speak up. They did speak up. They made their voices heard very loudly, some of them on social media. But when you start leaking private company information, that's grounds for termination. When you start to burst into high-level meetings in order to protest something, right, during these working hours, that's grounds for potentially a suspension, and that's what happened. But no, these people are trying to make it all about them, just like they have from the very beginning. They have wanted to be victims in this. That has been very obvious. They want to be victims from the very beginning, making it all about them, trying to get Dave Chappelle canceled and fired and unpersoned over the things that he said in this special, because one person on their platform has a different opinion than them and they cannot handle it. It truly is pathetic. And these people don't deserve any type of sympathy or victimhood or anything like that. Get over it at the end of the day. Honestly, you can't handle that one special has maybe a different opinion or opinion that doesn't align with you, and it's a stand-up comedy routine where with the swaths of entertainment that's pro-trans, pro-LGBT. No, this one thing, that's too much. We need to protest. We need to leak classified information, and we need to burst into high-level meetings. That's why no one takes him seriously. Dave Chappelle keeps winning while these people keep floundering and grasping at straws. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.